Good evening, everybody. My name is Orozco. I have a slight advantage. I am a Lone Star graduate, so I have a home field advantage. Yeah. So I get to where I've been active as an ally in the Black Lives Matter movement. It's very important for everybody that is not black to understand what being an ally means in any movement, that you don't share the same conditions or experiences that the person that you're being an ally to. Black Lives Matter helped me basically have on-hands real life experience and training on how it is to become an ally in the Black Lives Matter movement. And as a political nut and a historian, always paying attention to what's been going on. I am 29 years old. When I was 15 years old, I was living in New York when 9/11 happened. And ever since then, I've been paying attention to what's been going on in the news, what's been going on in politics. I'm trying to understand why these decisions are being made. And so when every incident of police brutality happened, even before social media was what it is today, the biggest one that hurt me was Sean Bell, who was shot at over 50 times on the night of his wedding. And then it started to continue with Trayvon Martin, and then Mike Brown. And then by that time, social media was a full hungry beast, because Mike Brown is what spread the wildfire. And as a historian and somebody who's going for his degree in history, I look at the Black Lives Matter movement as the movement that has lit the spark for the American Spring, which is gonna fuse all of the revolutions that are gonna come. Because right now we are living in a revolution. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel that way because you open up your front door and you just still see the mailbox, you still see the cars, you still see everything cool. But what's going on is that there was this old prophetic hip-hop song that said that the revolution won't be televised, and it's true. Because after Mike Brown's death, and as the country awaited for the non-indictment or an indictment decision, all around the country, different cities were sending out memes with the message of the day after of the decision, we're going to meet up in a location. Every city had one. Houston had one. And that's where I was. And when they had the non-indictment, I was just documenting on my Instagram. Social media is my everything in the sense of what I experience, what I believe, what I share. And that's when I started making the connections, the network, and learning. For those of you who are interested in the Black Lives Matter movement and are passionate about it but are not black, you know, there is a lot to learn, because what we're going through right now is spilled over into politics. If you look at the presidential election, you're seeing people now finding their communities online, and whether it's a community full of hate, like you have with Donald Trump, or if it's a community of love, like you have in Black Lives Matter, they're finding themselves. So what we're having is a revolution that's spilled over to the political side, and is creating more motion, more movement, more action. So if you're passionate about something, you can find it online. You can find it on social media. You can find your local groups that want to do something. Today, this morning, I was in downtown in solidarity with United We Dream, with protesting against the 287G law, which grants police officers immigration powers. So they get to stop somebody and ask them for their papers and see if they're legal. And we already know police officers' judgment right now is under high questionable situations, and we don't want to add more powers to that. So I found that through online and just reaching out to people asking, hey, when you're in Houston, let me know, we'll do something. And they hit me back up and said, okay, let's do this. And I document everything. My Instagram is full of footage, videos, pictures. And the biggest turn in my life, the biggest change, the biggest revelation in this movement was, as I waited to see what was the next move to make, Sandra Bland's case happened. Walden County is right next door. And I went there. We were from that jail for over 100 days in the summer in the heat, organizing protests, organizing rallies. And my personal experience is I judge people by their actions. So when we're standing in front, in the little bit of shade that we can in that building, the small little jail that they have, and they don't like our presence there so much that they put up barricades the next day so we can't stand in front of that shade. And not only just barricades, huge wooden blocks smothered with tar on top of it in over 100-degree heat, making that tar never set. So it stank, it smelled, it's toxic, it's dangerous for your health, hazardous for your health. But we said, all right, we'll go just to this little corner tree, be underneath the tree for the shade. The next day that tree was gone. The sheriff had it cut down. So my personal experience with fighting injustice has become more personal. And I understood that what we're dealing with in the criminal justice system, what we're dealing with in America are just human relationships that if you don't have one, they don't care about you. And if you don't look like them, or for some of them, they'll care about you less. So, since the Sandra Bland case, I've been more active. I've had more opportunities to meet more courageous people, and this is included, one of them. I get to meet somebody who had his own experience in Baltimore. I got to meet somebody else who had her experience in history, and just being able to see that we're all connected just by simply wanting to know more. Just going online, you no longer have an excuse because social media now is toppling governments and now mobilizing people. So it's important to realize that when it comes to race in America, it was never resolved. Historically, after slavery was ended, you had the black codes, Jim Crow laws, and it was in the North as well as in the South. And after the Civil Rights Movement, you had gentrification, you had crack cocaine in the Reagan administration, we had all sorts of different things continue since then. And we have to realize that race in America now is on your Super Bowl, it's now on your Grammys, it's now on everything. Why? Because the problem was never solved. So in order for you to understand that the anger is justified, but judge the actions and the words that these people are saying, and understand what the movement is within it. And the biggest thing, the lesson that I can teach you right now, that I learned, is write this word down: intersectionality. Intersectionality. I forgot, the name escapes me, but it's this very talented scholar, a woman, back in 1991, not invented the term, but coined the term. What was it? Bell hooks. Bell hooks. She coined the term. Intersectionality is what has made the Black Lives Matter movement be its most successful, because in the front lines and the organizing are queer and trans women, LGBT. Those are the ones that put their bodies on the line to get arrested. They're the ones that are doing the most of the organizing. And right behind them is a huge group of women, and right behind them, a smaller group of men. And that is a disappointment as a man. That's why I love to be able to say, I have no authority over this movement for more than one reason. I'm just an ally. So intersectionality is the only way you're going to be able to progress, not just in making movement building, but in life, and getting that apparent post-racial America that we always said we would. Intersectionality is the key, because it's the way that you are able to watch what you say, understand where the other person's coming from, because Kwame is a black male, but he has his own experiences, but a black transgender female has completely different experiences. So that is what Black Lives Matter has blessed me with, is the knowledge of experience and relationships that has created this movement what it is. And now I'm able to apply it to everything else I go. When I go to something for immigration, or something for LGBT, or something for just any cause, for women, for students, this language is universal now. So as being somebody from New York and Colombian immigrant parents, moved to Texas and understanding the culture down here, and the diversity in cultures, it's important for me to always carry what I learned. So if anything, I want to pass that down to you. I'd like to pass that down to you. Thank you so much.